I'm Ethan, 32, an accountant pulling in $80,000 a year at a mid-sized firm in Chicago. My life's been stable, predictable, like the spreadsheets I manage daily. For 3 years, I've been with Qley, a 29-year-old social media strategist whose world revolves around optics. Perfectly curated Instagram posts, designer purses she saves months for, and a wardrobe that screams sophistication. Her obsession with appearances never bothered me much. I figured it was part of her job, where a polished image is everything. We moved in together last year, blending our lives in a cozy one-bedroom apartment. We talked about marriage, kids, a future with a picket fence, or at least a modern condo equivalent. I thought we were on the same page. For 6 months, I'd been quietly saving for an engagement ring, skipping takeout and side-hustling with tax prep gigs to build my fund. Last month, I bought the ring. A 1.5-carat diamond in a rose gold solitaire setting, costing $10,500, nearly a quarter of my take-home pay after taxes and rent. It was the elegant, understated style Qley had admired during a casual stroll past a jeweler's window last spring. "That's the kind of ring that says forever," she'd said, her eyes sparkling. I planned to propose this weekend at her favorite French bistro, followed by a moonlit walk to a garden with a charming fountain. The ring was hidden in my sock drawer, nestled in a velvet box, waiting to make her smile. But last Monday, everything shifted. I came home early from work to confirm the bistro reservation and finalize my proposal speech. As I stepped into our apartment, I heard Qley's voice, loud and animated, on a FaceTime call with her sister, Lily, who lives in Denver. Our place is small, the walls paper-thin, and Qley talks like she's addressing a conference room. I was in the kitchen, grabbing a sparkling water when her words hit me like a rogue wave. "Ethan's been so sneaky lately," she said, her voice brimming with excitement. "I'm almost sure he's proposing this weekend." Lily squealed. "Qley, that's huge. Are you freaking out? Have you seen the ring?" "Not yet, but I've got standards now," Qley replied, her tone sharpening. "If it's under 3 carats, I'm saying no on the spot. I've been researching rings online for months, and anything smaller looks cheap. My coworkers all have at least 2 carats. I can't show up with some tiny speck and look like I settled for less." Lily hesitated. 3 carats? Qley, that's like $30,000. Ethan's not exactly swimming in money. "I've been with him 3 years, Qley snapped. "I've been the perfect girlfriend, supportive, charming, the whole deal. I deserve a ring that screams commitment. If he can't afford it, he should wait or get a loan. I'm not wearing something embarrassing." I stood frozen, the cold bottle sweating in my hand, as Qley rambled for 10 minutes about her research on diamond sizes. She'd studied average carat weights, compared notes with her marketing team, and decided anything less than 3 carats would humiliate her. She even had a plan for a subpar proposal. "If he proposes in public, I'll say yes to avoid drama, but I'll tell him later we need to exchange it for something respectable before I post about it." My stomach churned. The $10,500 ring I'd sacrificed for, a ring I thought she'd love, was, in her eyes, a tiny speck she'd reject to keep up with her coworkers. It wasn't just about the ring. It was what it revealed about her values. I'd seen her as image-conscious but reasonable. Now, I saw someone who measured love in carats, who'd researched her way into a competition I didn't know I was part of. I slipped back to our bedroom, opened the sock drawer, and stared at the ring box. The diamond caught the light, perfect for someone who'd see the effort and heart behind it. For Qley, it was a status symbol she'd deem unworthy. That night, I lay awake, replaying her words. By morning, I'd made my decision. I called the jeweler and learned I could return the ring within 30 days for a refund, minus a 10% restocking fee since I hadn't had it sized or engraved. Tuesday, I drove to the store and handed over the box, walking away with a $94.50 refund check. It felt like shedding a weight I hadn't realized I was carrying. I didn't confront Qley immediately. Instead, I decided to let her priorities surface naturally. I placed the return receipt in the empty ring box and tucked it back in the drawer. That evening, Qley was extra affectionate, dropping hints about the big weekend ahead. "I have a feeling it's going to be magical," she said, twirling her hair. I smiled, playing along, letting her think her dream proposal was coming. Friday night, Qley was a vision. She spent an hour on her makeup, chose a fitted black dress that screamed elegance, and kept checking her phone for the perfect lighting. At the French bistro, she savored her favorite duck confit, her eyes dancing with anticipation. "This is already such a perfect night," she said, squeezing my hand. I nodded, my heart heavy but resolute. After dinner, we strolled to the nearby garden where a stone fountain glowed under soft lights, my planned proposal spot. Qley was practically vibrating, angling herself for photos, her phone at the ready. At 8:45, I dropped to one knee, the velvet box in my hand. "Qley, I've been planning to ask you to marry me tonight," I said, my voice steady. Her face lit up, her hand already extending, fingers wiggling in expectation. "But Monday, I overheard you tell Lily you'd reject any ring under 3 carats because it'd be embarrassing." Her smile flickered, confusion creeping in. I opened the box, revealing not a diamond but the folded return receipt. "So I returned the ring I bought. This is what you get instead." Qley stared at the paper, her mouth slightly open. "Ethan, you're joking, right? This is some kind of test." "No test," I said, keeping my tone calm. "You said you'd say no to anything less than 3 carats and make me swap it out before you'd announce our engagement. I saved us both the trouble." "I was just talking to Lily," she stammered, her voice rising. "I didn't mean it. I'd love any ring you chose." "You spent 10 minutes explaining your research, your minimum standards, and how you'd be humiliated by a smaller stone," I said. "That's not just talk." Tears welled in her eyes. "Ethan, please, let's go home and talk privately. I love you." "You said you'd only say yes in public to avoid embarrassing me, then demand a bigger ring later," I replied. "I heard your real priorities." A few passers-by glanced our way, sensing the tension, but I kept my composure. "I hope you find someone who can meet your standards," I said, standing and walking to my car, leaving Qley by the fountain with the receipt in her hand. Qley's been in damage control mode since Friday. The proposal hit her like a freight train. She showed up at my apartment Saturday morning, eyes red and puffy, begging to explain. "I was caught up in work and social media pressure," she said. "I don't actually care about ring size. I'd have been thrilled with anything from you. Except you said you'd reject anything under 3 carats and make me upgrade it," I reminded her. "You researched carat sizes to compete with your coworkers." She had no real response, her own words trapping her. Her sister, Lily, called that afternoon, pleading Qley's case. "She was just venting," Lily said. "She didn't mean it literally. She meant it enough to spend 10 minutes laying out her standards and rejection plan," I said. Lily went quiet. Sunday, Qley's mom called, saying Qley had learned her lesson about materialism. I explained that someone who sets a 3-carat minimum and plans to reject a proposal based on size doesn't share my values. "Better to find out now than after a wedding," I said. Qley's texts flooded in, apologies, promises to change, claims she was just excited. I didn't respond. Word spread through our friend group, and Qley admitted her ring demands to a few. Most were stunned at how calculated she'd been. A few thought I overreacted, but most saw her expectations as a red flag. 2 months later, the dust has settled. Qley's reputation took a hit among mutual friends, especially after she shared her 3-carat rule. Some called it shallow, others tried to dismiss it as girl talk. But her detailed research and rejection plan were too specific to brush off. She's dating someone new now, a pharmaceutical sales rep with a bigger paycheck. Good for her. Maybe he'll meet her carat quota. I've started seeing someone too, a woman who gets giddy over farmers market dates and long hikes. When I shared the story, she shook her head. "Anyone obsessed with carat size is missing the point of a ring," she said, her eyes warm. That's when I knew I'd found someone who gets it. Qley sent one last message a few weeks ago. "I know I can't undo what I said, but I've realized I was wrong to focus on material things. I hope you find someone who deserves you." I didn't reply, but I appreciated the gesture. The receipt, still in my desk, reminds me I dodged a bullet. That $10,500 ring would have been perfect for someone who valued the sacrifice behind it. For Qley, it was a social media prop she'd have rejected. She wanted a ring to flaunt. I wanted a partner who'd cherish the commitment. We both got what we prioritized. The jewelry store lost a sale, but I gained clarity about what matters in a relationship. And that's worth more than any diamond.